Working from home isn't exactly as easy as sitting at the desk in your home and then productively working your hours away. One challenge is that there never seems to be a clear line between work life and personal life. It's as if you're always on call, or that work mode is forever on. And if you've experienced it, you'd know that it could cause demotivation, a looming sense of burnout, or just a general lack of direction. Things that we don't want happening. So how was I able to cope with it? It's really simple, by sticking to a schedule. Mabuhay! Welcome to another episode of Working From Home with me, your homeboy, Ronipe. So before the COVID-19 pandemic, some people saw working from home setups as a luxury or something that's very desirable. Governments and private institutions started implementing work from home arrangements in a scale that's never been seen before. And just like that, a lot of people suddenly found themselves becoming full-time workers from home. And it's not exactly a walk in the park. I think a lot were able to quickly realize that working from home is not what they thought it would be. So one of the challenges is separating your work life from your personal life. As for my own, I decided to start working from home even before this crisis. Despite its difficulties, I still think that it's a great option. We just have to have systems in place that could help us better cope with our workdays. Okay, so now you're working from home. That's great, right? Not exactly. You know, with great flexibility comes great responsibility. Here's the thing. For me, I put a lot of value on flexibility as a work aspect, but for something to be flexible, it has to have some sort of structure. If you don't have a defined structure or form, you're like water or any liquid for that matter. You're just taking on the shape of your container. And when it comes to managing our work days, I don't think that's a very good approach. I think it's better to have our workdays structured and strong, but flexible enough so that we could take the hit of any unexpected event. Think of a bamboo stalk. It's strong, it's rigid, but it's flexible enough so that when a strong wind blows, it won't be destroyed that easily. So I think that's a good approach to how we should be designing our workdays. When we don't have a schedule or boundaries, everything just flows everywhere. It's messy. Everything is all over the place. Our work lives creep into our personal lives. Our personal lives, I don't know what happened to them. That's fine to some extent, but when it's too much, you start to feel a looming sense of burnout and you seem to be losing direction or focus. And then you keep asking yourself, oh my god, when is this ever gonna end? I don't like having that feeling. It demotivates me, it gives me anxiety, and I don't think it's sustainable in the long run. So we have to address things like that early on. So before we proceed, if you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to receive notifications whenever I post a new video, click on that notification bell. In an ideal world, we could make schedules that are specified up to the last minute and adhere to them. But this is not an ideal world. Far from it. The fact that we're able to work and be economically productive during this time is already something to be heavily grateful for. Given that it's not an ideal world, what we need is just a general sense of form or structure. So for this, I like to implement time blocks or modes, if you may. They don't have to be too detailed, but if you want to make them too detailed, no one's stopping you. I personally like to classify my activities into 5 modes or blocks. So we have work mode, rest mode, connect mode, externalities mode, and passion mode. So let's talk about work mode, the highlight of our day. Work mode is the time when you hopefully give your best to your job. It's important to define your work hours. If you're an employee, it's easy. You know, if your company says that you need to be present at work from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., be mentally present at your job from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you're a project-based freelancer like myself, it could be a little trickier. We have to determine our own work mode hours. So to determine your work mode hours, you could look into your current project or client portfolio and figure out which hours work best for you to do your job and deliver on your client's needs at the time that they need it. If you're finding it difficult to do that, you could start by adopting the typical work hours or just any arbitrary hours. You could go with 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. just like most employees, and then tweak as time goes by. The most important thing is to be actually mentally present. This is important because when you're doing everything that you can during these hours, it's less likely, in my opinion, that work will creep into other modes of your day because you might be accomplishing everything that you need to do during your work mode hours. I understand, sometimes you just don't want to. The TV is there, the bed is there, the fridge is there, but you have to control yourself. You have to focus on your job. You have to be mentally present at your job. Even though you don't have any task right now, adhere to your work hours. You could be doing things today that could help your tomorrows become easier. Feel free to disagree. I'm open for discussion because that's going to help me grow as well. So the meat of the matter here is just to define your work mode hours and adhere to them. Allow for some buffer though, because there would be times that you'd really have to go beyond your work mode hours because there's just really this thing that you need to do. Also, there would be days when you'd have meetings now and then way outside of your work mode hours. That's fine really, as long as it's under control. If it's every day and you expect that to happen every day, I think you have to rethink your work mode hours. You can only do so much. So by knowing when work generally starts or generally ends, I think we'd be able to better keep our sanity. Now, I'm not telling you to beat yourself up during work mode. We're living in a pandemic. It's not easy for anyone's well-being. This is a coping mechanism so that we can keep being productive without losing our minds, without burning out, because that's bad for everyone. That's bad for you, that's bad for your company, that's bad for your clients. Just like a fully charged mobile phone, just as it gets used up during the day, its battery goes down. It's the same with us. So we all have limited energy and attention. We have to recharge. So that is the importance of rest mode. Rest mode is about all the things that make us feel recharged. So they include meals, sleep. You could throw in a nap in there if you want. Basically just anything that helps you keep rested and recharged so that you're ready again to tackle work mode on the following day. Yay, work again. So I've mentioned meals. That includes lunch break during work hours or some mini breaks every 2 hours during your work mode. Now we can see that work mode is not one big block. It's something that has tiny blocks of rest mode within it. Connect mode is what they use to classify time spent on activities that are not exactly productive and have no other purpose except to bring you joy. So such activities include spending time with your family, with your friends, doing leisurely activities such as reading a book, playing video games, any hobby you have. So I call it connect mode because it's about connecting with other people, your friends and your family, connecting with nature and other beings such as your pets, and connecting with your inner/other self, the self that you can really show during work mode or in public. So it's connecting with yourself. I took the concept of externalities from the field of economics. I'm not sure if I'm using the term properly, so if you have a stronger economics background that I do, please feel free to correct me so that I could learn. Externalities refer to the activities that we have to do in support of or as a product of doing activities in other modes. There is a cost to that, in this case, time cost. What do I mean by that? For example, working. Let's say there's no quarantine and you still go to your office regularly. To go to work and to fulfill work mode, you have to commute to work. So you're commuting to work not for the fun of it, but because you need to go from your home to your workplace. So that is an externality, and we have to spend time on it, unfortunately, unpleasing as it may be. Another example could be related to rest mode. It's very satisfying and relaxing to have a nice dinner, at least for me. It doesn't end with dinner. There are dishes to wash, there are tables to clean, so these things are stuff that we have to do related to rest mode. Who does dishes for fun? If it's your thing, fine. But whether you're doing it for fun or not, we have to do them anyway. Passion. This is a word that's very popular among my generation, the millennials. Is there anything that you're passionate about? Something that you're really interested in? Is there something that you really want to do that makes you think, I'd rather be doing this than doing my actual job? In an ideal world, we'd all be living our best lives. We'd all be following our passions. We'd no longer have to work jobs we care little for. But again, this is not an ideal world. See, I'm filming a vlog, but there's a chicken doing his cook, making noise outside. I just have to accept that. This is reality. Some people get to pursue their passions, some don't. If you're not lucky enough to be among those people who do, that shouldn't hold you back from even just dabbling on these things that really spark up a flame inside you. So passion mode, you allocate some time, even if it's just 15 minutes, just to keep the flame burning. Because who knows, tomorrow you might be living your best life, or maybe not. At the end of the day, in the grand scheme of things, who cares, right? We're just doing that to keep the flame burning inside of us. If you want to extinguish that flame, it's fine, it's up to you. If you don't, it's worth at least 15 minutes a day. The important thing is that you schedule it. If you don't schedule it, it will never get done. Aside from working, resting, connecting, doing externalities, I want to still have some sort of passion in my life, even if it's just for 15 minutes a day. Okay, so that's it. That's the very simple time blocking system that I use. You can design your own system, you can copy mine, whatever suits you. You don't have to schedule each block religiously every day, although that would be ideal. Again, this is not an ideal world. It's really up to you to determine which works best for you. Also, realize that you won't be in tip-top shape every day. There are really going to be days when you'd feel down or in a slump. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Acknowledge those feelings and know that it's not just you. It happens to a lot of people as well. During those days, step back a little, take it a little more lightly, and know that tomorrow could be a brighter day. Or maybe not. But for as long as we're alive, there are a lot of coming days which have the potential to be brighter days. I hope you learned something from this video. Just remember that some days are bright and easy, and some days are hard and stormy. So let's just enjoy and make the most out of our bright days and prepare to cope and weather through the hard days. Storms pass. So that's all for me. I'll see you again in another episode. Paalam.